Walk like an Egyptian.
Hey, look at that. It's Ryan Kinnell again talking about his hit film, The Lost City. I know Ryan will hate me for saying that, but I had to talk about it. But anyway, the main topic of today's video is the second part of my Disney Plus video tirades, and today it's the Moon Knight director who dared to criticize the depiction of a fictional Egypt in Wonder Woman 1984. Oh boy, this is going to be hilarious. And look, and what does he do here? It was a disgrace for us. It was a total disgrace. Wow. I mean, talk about the hard virtue signal. I mean, God, we see everywhere in Hollywood at the moment, people coming out and saying, we've been oppressed for so long. We've been, you've got to right these wrongs. Absolutely ridiculous. We know what, Moon Knight is coming out, it's the end of, it's next week, next Wednesday, right? So, is this a way to promote your new TV show going forward? I don't think so. So we'll get into this one really quickly. So Moon Knight director Mohamed Diab brings much deserved representation of ancient Egyptian mythology to the MCU. With it, he hopes to change Hollywood's perception of Egypt, which he says has disappointed him, particularly when it comes to certain superhero blockbusters. I remember seeing Wonder Woman 84, and there was a big sequence in Egypt. It was a disgrace for us. Diab, who made his directorial debut with the 2010 political thriller Cairo 678. Have you heard of it? Neither have I. Now, he recently spoke to FX magazine, and he said, "You had a shake. That doesn't make any sense to us. Egypt looked like a country from the Middle Ages. It looked like the desert." So I wonder what he'll think about Uncharted 3 when Nathan Drake is walking amongst miles and miles of sand dune desert. I wonder what he'll say about that. And then he talks about Pedro Pascal, well, that's kind of funny, who travels to Egypt with a stolen artifact and is pursued by Diana Prince and Steve Trevor in one of the movie's biggest action sequences. And you never see Cairo, you always see Jordan shot for Cairo, Morocco shot for Cairo, sometimes Spain shot for Cairo. Now this is diatribe because sometimes you may not be able to get the... Look, if you think about Lawrence of Arabia back in 1961, 1960, and I'm pretty sure, I'm just saying this off the top of my head and I could be wrong, that they actually went to a specific location as depicted in the book. And the basic accounts of that, where it was based on, and I'm sure they shot in that part of the world. But back in the days, the glory days of Hollywood, talking about the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, they'll go to specific locations to get the actual feel of what it would be like. But what he's saying here is dumb because it's about money, it's about costs. Now studios should be concerned about whether the next thing they bring out is going to be a hit or it's going to be a straight to streaming platform. It's a big part about Egypt and how inauthentically it has been portrayed throughout Hollywood's history. Diab said, "It's always exotic. We call it Orientalism. I hate that. It dehumanizes us. We are always naked. We are always sexy. We are always bad. We are always over the top." Wow. When I think of over the top, I think about the Golden Globers classic with Sylvester Stallone as Lincoln Hawk.
But a winner never listens to the odds.
Whatever happens, I want you to stay with him.
With Moon Knight, Diab was able to weave genuine Egyptian history into the plot while embracing its comic book origins and keeping the show fun. Apparently there's a bait and switch in it where Mark Spector stands aside while a less powerful woman does the work for him. That's what I've heard, and if that's true, that's absolutely terrible. And look, his ranting and raving about it is bizarre because the character of Mark Spector, I don't call myself the biggest Moon Knight expert. I've read up about him and I do have a couple of issues of his comics, but the character Mark Spector is a Jewish dude. Now, if Diab is talking about accurate representation, how come he's picked a Guatemalan Cuban actor called Oscar Isaac, who isn't Jewish, as far as I know, to play the titular role? In fact, just to be a bit ignorant here, do people from Cuba and Guatemala, do any of them come from Jewish ancestry? You know, maybe there's a few that slipped the timeline and maybe they're there. I'm just saying. So he's talking about that. But you know what? It's the reason why I like films like 300 and Gods of Egypt, because you got Gerard Butler, clearly not Egyptian, clearly not Greek, playing key roles. And I think that's hilarious. It's like Hollywood saying, we don't give a shit about accuracy. We just want to get the best actors for the role. You got to think about Charlton Heston when he was in the 10 Commandments. He's played Moses. Is that an accurate portrayal of Moses? We don't know, do we? Moses could have been olive-skinned. We have no clue. But because we are telling a different story, a fictionalized account of what may or may not have happened on that mount, or Olympus, or the gods. You know, the whole point is these things are based on specific mythos and laws of the time, and that might, you know, and you know, when you're talking about interpreting that for the big or the small screen, you've got to take some liberties. And you know, again, Scar Joe wasn't allowed to play a trans woman, was she? Because she's too straight, she's too beautiful. We can't have that. And a part of being an actor is to act, to play a particular role. So why this guy's whining on about why does Morocco always stand in for this and why is Jordan always substituted for that? I'm pretty sure Denis Villeneuve, thank you very much, actually, why doesn't Diab go to Denis Villeneuve and tell him, by the way, Dune, what part of Egypt were you representing in this film? You know, he won't have the nerve to do that. And in fact, if we just go very quickly, actually, I should have done this before. Let's have a quick look. Mohammed Diab, he's one of the directors, okay. So what's he done? Okay. Nothing I've ever heard of. Footsteps of the Devil, The Island 2? Is that a sequel to The Island? Okay, I'm not sure. No, that's different. That's a different island altogether. Yeah, that's right. Hang on, The Island 2007. No, it's not the same one with Ewan McGregor. Renegades, I haven't heard of any of these. So it seems that he hasn't really been working consistently. He's had gaps in his resume. He's been a producer, he's been an actor, only one credit, so that'll probably tell you something. So this guy is whining and bitching and moaning about representation, how representation has to be accurate in Hollywood. No, it doesn't have to be. In some cases, when you're not taking a piss, like Anne Boleyn and... I mean, can you imagine a white actor stepping into the role of Malcolm X? That's not going to go down well, is it? No, of course not. However, I will say this. If you want to take liberties and misrepresent a character who's been in the public eye for many, many years, do it as an alternate universe. I actually hate that term or phrase now, but you might as well go down that route or make it a comedy. You do that, no one's going to have an issue. You take it seriously, people like me will have an issue. So if you enjoyed this quick video today, folks, about Moon Knight, are you looking forward to it? I personally am not. I think it's going to be another crash and burn for Disney Plus, and it's just what they don't need to have right now. But not again that I'm feeling sorry for them at all. And if you enjoyed this video today, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you like the subscribe button as well. And while you're at it, make sure you share this video here, there, and everywhere. And on that one, folks, if I were you, I'd see me on my next video.